Hello Stampers! Today I am going to show you how to make something I put together out of some embossing powder. It's baby scented cards. If you were like me, I don't know if anybody else is, but I love the smell of baby powder. Even though I never used this on my kids when I had babies, I just love the smell of it and it reminds me of babies. And so of course as soon as I was making a card I had to use baby powder and I couldn't figure out how to make it happen, so I put together my own little concoction, and today I'm going to show you how to do that myself. So this is baby scented embossing powder tutorial. So to get started, this is the simplest thing in the world. First of all, you're going to want to use your powder pal because it does get a little bit messy, as you can see. This is a great use for your extra empty containers. This is just an old Brad's container that I had, or Trinket Keys container. I'll just take the lid off there. Okay, now there's two different ways that I did this. The very first way, and I'll just show you both on the way, is I'm going to take about a half a jar of clear embossing powder. I'm going to pour it into my first container. About half that way. That sounds good. Okay, once I have that, I'm going to take about, I'd say, a quarter of a container's worth of baby powder. You don't want a ton of this because this doesn't actually emboss. You want enough that it's going to smell really nice, but not enough that it's going to screw with your embossing too much. So this is kind of a trial and error, but if you're using one of these little containers, I would say use half a jar of clear embossing powder. So 2 parts clear embossing powder, 1 part baby powder. And then what you can do is just start by shaking that up. Now, here's a key. You need to shake this up a long time. That baby powder doesn't want to get mixed in right away. So give yourself the luxury of shaking for a good 2 minutes. I know it doesn't seem like it, but when you do this with blue, you notice how long it actually takes to mix up. So when you're finished, this is white. So I have a jar that I've now labeled. It's an old clear embossing jar, and I've labeled it baby, and it's white baby powder scented embossing powder. But the other thing you can do is take your tempting turquoise embossing powder, and you're going to take 1 part worth of this, even up to half of a jar, depending on how dark you want it, and go ahead and load it into your mixed up embossing powder and baby powder. Oops. And then you're going to shake that up. And I'll just show you, if you can see, it needs some more shaking than that, but it's doing pretty well. And when you're finished, here's the funny thing, it turns into Baja Breeze embossing powder. So you get 2 colors out of it in the end, so that's really cool. So again, now I can tell you right now, everything smells so lovely. It smells like baby powder. That's so fun to me. And again, this is the card that I made with it. And if you were to see carefully, these are actually embossed with that beautiful blue embossing powder, which turned into Baja Breeze. So this card is actually in a Baja Breeze theme. So I hope that helps you. It's just a quick tip for the day, and happy stamping.